viewers, this is your boy Political Hamzy. If you like this content, please click the like button, the subscription button, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell. Today is going to be nice and sweet, short and simple as usual. Today's topic is, would there ever be a change in Nigeria? This topic is all about the ongoing strike action in Nigeria. For me, strike, it's not even a strike action, it's a revolution, because a revolution can either be peaceful protest or it could be violent. But I do not promote violence, so I'm all in support of this peaceful protest. And we can see violence, it doesn't work, because we've had a violent revolution. And I would say that is the Niger Delta militants and the Boko Haram, because what brings about a revolution is a group of people have made up their mind. We're tired of the policies, we're tired of bad governance, and we're going to force a change through violence. And they have tried this and it hasn't worked. Now the people have said, look, let's hit the streets and let our voices be heard. Let the government know that it's not, this bad governance has brought about suffering in the land, and we want to make a change. But the crazy thing about it is that you've heard them, this administration talking about making people feel that if you go out to voice your concerns, to protest, you're sabotaging the country, that you're no more loyal to Nigeria. No. This administration, more than others, know what it is to protest, because majority of them were in pro-democracy groups and they were part of NADECO, and the way they made their voices heard was through protests. Now they're on the other side of the fence. They're telling people, you're loyal, you're sabotaging Nigeria. Even Governor Obaseki said, look, if you go out and protest, you're going to make things worse. And I look at him and I'm like, what do you mean make things worse? The people have done all they can to voice their concerns. Nobody's listening. Their backs are to the wall. What do you expect them to do? Because you people in power are doing nothing. You're sitting down there and eating fat from Nigeria and from the resources of Nigeria. And this is terrible. And you could tell that now they've increased the minimum wage to 70,000. But look at it. See how long it took to get here. But you've increased it to 70,000. But have you factored in transportation, feeding, fuel costs, healthcare, school fees? It still won't go anywhere. It was so hard to reach an agreement on 70,000, but immediately lawmakers got into power. Was it hard to agree an amount for them to procure SUVs? Was it hard for you to agree an amount for them to have money to furnish their offices? You allocated $1.6 million to buy a new fleet of cars for the First Lady, an office that is not recognized by the Constitution of Nigeria. And you ask yourself, the former fleet that President Muhammad Buhari was using, why didn't you give it to the First Lady to use? Why spend all this money? This is to show they do not care. Even Governor Wike spent billions to renovate a villa for the Vice President. At this point in time, we do not need this. We do not need this. Nigerians are suffering. There is no security. There is no healthcare. There is no infrastructure. You can see the amount of security forces they mobilized to police this protest. And you ask yourself, why didn't they mobilize this kind of presence to tackle the herdsmen, to tackle bandits? Why? And one thing I liked, the police, what I saw, there were people protesting, and the police wanted to stop them, and they looked at the police officers and educated them and told them, this protest is not just for us, it's for you, the police officers. Your salaries, you're not paid adequate salaries, you're not paid on time, your ex-colleagues hardly receive their pensions, where the police officers' quarters are dilapidated. You're there protecting people that are holding you in bondage. You guys can't even pay school fees for your children, and you're protecting people that are holding us back. And they let the people carry on with the protests. And it had to take President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the fourth day or after 3 days to address the nation on this. Yes, he showed empathy and all that, but he did not hit the main problem, which is the cost of governance. And that is why everything is spiraling. To show you, even he himself does not care. Because he's like, if he cared for people, he would sit there and say, look, we need to cut down the cost of governance. Put this money in healthcare. Put this money in education. Put this money where it would help the people. Put it in infrastructure. There's suffering in the land. Even Dangote is feeling it. Dangote spent so much money to bring this refinery online. And we were happy because we were like, it's going to make things better for the masses. That means fuel prices will go down, transportation costs will go down, and there will be employment. But what do they do to Dangote? They try and sabotage him. They tell you that the fuel, it's poor quality, it's not up to international standards. You know why? It's all vested interests. You know, from years back, from the time of President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida IBB, we've been hearing these rumors that our oil that has been taken out of the country to be refined, it's mainly Nigerian government officials that have a stake in those refineries. That's why I employ NNPC to tell us, let us see the middlemen who negotiate these deals for the oil to be refined outside Nigeria, and let them give us a list of the refineries they take this oil to, and let us see the board of directors and people who have stakes or shares within these refineries, and see if anybody is related or connected to anybody in government, because everything they do in Nigeria is for selfish reasons. Nigeria is suffering unemployment. Why? Because for you to have meaningful employment, for you to help the employment sector in Nigeria, you have to have a thriving manufacturing sector. And what have they done? They've killed the manufacturing sector in two major ways. One, they're not able to procure foreign exchange. Two, they decide, like vehicles, government vehicles, they decide to purchase everything overseas when we have our local manufacturers here. Three, no power. How can your manufacturing sector perform without power? Tell us the reason why we have not been able to get a grip on the power sector. And you do not blame the people for this protest, because nobody cares. We saw in the last election the whole momentum of the obedient movement. People thought, with these Labour people going to the National Assembly, they'll talk on behalf of the people. They went there, the expenditure, the allowances and allocation given to them, none of them spoke up against it. They're like, you know what, we're now here to eat part of the national cake. That's the problem with Nigeria. Nobody speaks for us. And the government, they're scared. They're really scared, because they've seen what happened in Kenya, where the people stand together and unite. United we stand, divided we fall. They're afraid of the people. That's why they divide us based on tribalism and religion. But I tell people, no matter your religion or your tribe, this suffering does not know tribe or religion. It hits everybody the same way. Yes, it does hit us the same way. And they're scared. They're scared of unity. Nobody has our interests. I remember when Rotimi Amechi was in PDP and he left. People gave him that sort of respect because they thought he made it known that he's leaving PDP because they have nothing to offer the people. That APC has something to offer the people. But the only reason he defected to APC was that he had a selfish and greedy ambition to become president. And PDP was not going to help him achieve that. And now he went to APC and they didn't help him to achieve his greedy ambitions. He's kept quiet. The same as Governor Wike, the Minister of FCT. When he was Governor of River State, people loved him because he said, this guy spoke for the masses. He spoke for the poor man. He made the government know what needs to be done and how it should be done. But now we see that all that talk Wike was doing was because he had selfish interest. He's now there with them, eating, exposing the people to suffering. And Wike is the worst of the lot because in the intelligence community, he's known as what is a double agent, somebody who has no loyalty. His only loyalty is to money and greed, and that is Governor Wike. People, do not relent, be steadfast, because the mindset of these politicians is that, this is a phase, it will pass away. Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he knows the sufferings of Nigeria, because when he was part of NADECO, he saw what was happening under military rule. He claimed to be fighting for the masses of Nigeria. And now, during a democratic dispensation, he now came as the president preaching the same message. All of a sudden, you are now there. And we are worse off than what we were when we were under the military rule. The only difference is that you give us the illusion of an election for us to decide who to lead us. But in principle, with what INEC does and what's been happening with INEC, we never get to decide who is going to lead or represent us. It's always a selection by the political elite. And that is why the people are protesting. We need a change. There is no security. People can't go. There's hunger in the land. People in the north and middle belt can't go to the farms. We can't produce food because no security. The food we produce, we can't get it from point A to point B because no roads, bad infrastructure. Education is poor. Show me one government public school that is up to standards. None. We are still building roads, with open drainage. We're spending billions and millions practically doing nothing. What do we have to show for it? Nigerians are doing great things, but this is one of the only countries in Africa, or the only country in Africa you can say that the achievements of the people is not based on government policies. It's based on our tenacity and perseverance. That's all. Everything the Nigerian public, the masses achieve is down to us. Nothing down to government. We have EFCC. Are they fighting for the people? Because EFCC is there to fight financial crimes and to reclaim what belongs to us, our national resources that has been plundered. But no, EFCC is not for us. Look at Beta Edu, look at the Minister of Interior, look at Matwale, look at Akpabio. They're all there. Part of the upper echelon. Look at Bagudu, our Minister of Budget and Planning. Wasn't he the one that helped Abacha siphon and launder our money outside Nigeria? Now he's a government official. Obviously, he's teaching them how he did it with Abacha, and he's actually pointing out the mistakes he made. So telling them, look, when you do the same thing, this is things you should avoid so you're not caught. And you want Nigeria to move forward. We can't move forward. People, be steadfast, because there's nothing they fear more than the unity of the people. This is your boy, Political Hamzy. Till we meet again, you have a great week. Thank you.